Well, I want to thank each one of you for inviting me out here tonight. Very excited to be here. I understand that each one of you represent influencers within your community, influencers such as pastors, teachers, coaches, wellness professionals, six-figure income earners representing various professions, as well as a few of you as full-time networkers. And so I want to first give a quick disclaimer to let you know that I don't stand before you as a network marketer in the traditional sense. My traditional background stems from being a West Point graduate where I studied engineering and sociology. And in 1996, the week I graduated from West Point, I was introduced to the world of personal growth and development via network marketing. And to that end, as I've spoken around the world, I've told everyone that if you take away my West Point degree, my MBA from George Washington University, financial planning from Georgetown University, the experience I gained as a result of getting introduced to the field and the industry of network marketing and personal growth and development and entrepreneurship forever changed my life. In fact, I credit that to laying the foundation for me to make my first million by 32. Now, with that said, I am very delighted to tell you that, I am a true advocate of the industry because I've always looked at network marketing for what it truly is, which is a distribution channel. And so to that end, my desire is to share with you from a financial perspective the significance of getting involved in the industry and how it can truly be a solution to a very, very critical problem that's facing our country and many people today. Last year I wrote a report in which I entitled, "Where is your current life plan taking you?" And in that report, what I spoke to was that 66 out of 100 people aged 65 had a retirement income of less than $30,000. 12% had an income over $30,000. 5% had an income over $60,000. One at age 65 was actually wealthy, but the remaining 13% were just dead. And so for you, you may have read the book 45-Second Presentation. It says, have you ever thought about owning your own life? It says when you subtract out the time for working, sleeping, commuting, and the time it takes you to do what you must do each and every day of your life, most people are left with just 1 to 2 hours remaining to do what they really want to do. But then the question is, do they have the money to do it? And so to that problem, I think that network marketing is a phenomenal income opportunity for you to actually generate some true income today, tomorrow, and residually in the future. Now, with that said, I want to tell you that, again, I've never joined a company because of the financial opportunity. My sniff test has always been, I don't want to recruit anyone. Show me that I can still make money. And that's what I want to tell you about the company in which I'm a part of, and very excited about the distinction between how we do things versus other companies that truly generally use network marketing. And that company is Visalis Sciences. And in Visalis, we're very, very singular focused. We are the single largest armory targeting obesity. And the beautiful thing about that is that the market in and of itself speaks to our relevance in today's society. You see, there are 231 million people classified as overweight or obese, 68% of the population. It costs the nation $147 billion per year to address not just obesity, but also most of the degenerative diseases that stem from being overweight or obese, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer. And so with our program, we promote the challenge. And right now specifically, we're promoting Project 10. And with Project 10, every week we award $10,000 to 10 people who have lost 10 pounds. And so I want you to think about, who do you know that right now could stand to lose 10 pounds? So that's a quick synopsis of, the company of ViSalus. You can get a lot more details. I'm going to give you a few websites at the end. But right now, what I want to speak with you about is specifically the retirement vehicle. The reason why I feel that it's a necessity that everyone learns about the network marketing industry and finds some company to be involved in so that they can actually supplement their income with a legitimate business, and in turn position themselves so that they're not a part of that 66% of the people that are right now generating less than $30,000 in income. And so to that end, I'm going to go to the whiteboard and I'm going to show you something. The first thing I want to refer to the cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki speaks to in his book, Cash Flow Quadrant. He speaks about it as simply this. He said you have people that are in each of these categories. You got the E for the employee. You have the S for the self-employed person. You have the B for the business owner. And you have the I for the investor. Now, as you're listening to me and you're taking notes, I want you to think about which category do you find your income coming from. And this is going to be very important as I lay out the financial terms down the line. So most people are in that category E. They're receiving their income via W-2. The S is for that self-employed person, a person that is the type that wants to do it themselves. They're in business, owning their own business. The B is the business owner category, and that's someone that actually has systems in place and they're generating income even if they're not actively involved. And then the I is for the investor. The investor is someone that actually makes their money make money for them. Okay, so we got the E, the S, the B, and the I. The next thing I want to speak to, also via Robert Kiyosaki, I'll tell you, the next thing I'm going to show you is really what laid the foundation and opened my mind and gave me the foundation to acquire over $1 million in assets in 90 days. And it was very simple. I learned about the flow of income difference between the poor, the middle class, and the wealthy. You see, you have the income statement that makes up your income, your expenses, and then you have your assets and your liabilities. Assets and liabilities make up your balance sheet. Income, expenses is your income statement. And so the flow of money for the poor goes income to expenses, then out the window. That's where you actually are just living paycheck to paycheck. And this is going to be critical for you to understand, because that right there is the picture that prevents so many people from accumulating that nest egg that they need in order to retire comfortably. Okay? The next thing is the flow of money for the middle class. The middle class. And how that flows is income to liability to expenses, then out the window. Income to liabilities to expenses, then out the window. Liabilities are such things such as your car that may have a car loan, your home which may have a home loan, your student loans, your credit cards which have a balance. You see, each one of those liabilities have an associated monthly expense, and that's why it's going out of the window. And so that's why you may have someone that looks like they have a great life, but debt is actually holding them down. So again, the flow of money for the middle class goes income to liabilities to expenses, then out the window. Again, that flow of money prevents people from actually retiring comfortably. Now, the flow of money for the wealthy is a lot different. And it's a lot different because of what decision is made with that dollar once it comes in the income category. And so what happens is it goes income to assets to create more income, to go back to assets to create more income. Now, what are the assets? Well, for a person that's in the E category, a W-2 income earner, well, that asset is probably a 401k. A 401k is probably what they're using via their company's retirement planning. You also have an asset category of, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things that any and everyone, but traditionally the person that actually is in the W-2 field is actually putting money into some type of investment vehicle and trying to accumulate wealth for the long term. And then you also have real estate for income purposes. You may have a business. You may have royalties associated with being an author or being a musician. So those are the things that make up the asset category. And so what I want to emphasize as it relates to creating wealth and having enough set aside for retirement is what you would experience if you went to a financial advisor or if you were working with a 401k plan. Really just break that down, because the reality of it is many people are investing in these programs but have no idea what they really are doing. They're doing it more so because everyone says that they should put money away, but they don't understand just the risk that they're actually taking when they're doing that. So let's talk about that for a second. Before I begin, let me tell you a little bit about my background. As I said, I did my undergrad at West Point in engineering and sociology. I have an MBA from George Washington University. I also did financial planning at Georgetown. I've been licensed 766 Life for Variable Annuity, mortgage and real estate. I worked as a financial advisor at an international firm and built a successful book of business in that field. But what's really interesting and different about my story is that I had made my first million before ever going into the financial services field. In fact, what led me into the field was that when I was getting cold called by brokers, I would ask two simple questions. One question was, would you mind sharing with me your personal financial statement? And then the second question was, would you mind sharing with me your personal financial plan? And every time I asked that question, they kind of scooted it around, was like, well, what does I'm doing have to do with you? And see, the reality of it is, I didn't care how much money they actually had. I just wanted to understand what their thought process was and how they actually went about providing advice. As a West Pointer, leadership by example was very important to me. It wasn't as if I didn't have the background, but I didn't want to get stuck looking at my own stuff. Why? Because emotions get into the way, and that's something, the emotional factor, when you're looking at your own investments, can lead to you making some irrational decisions and messing up your overall plan. So with that said, that's kind of I want to just really lay the foundation and let you know that when I share this with you as it relates to the financial side, I'm doing it with a degree of understanding and credibility as it relates to what any financial professional would give you in a traditional sense. And my desire is to share something with you that I don't think many people understand, and that's just the real numbers required to actually retire at the level that you desire, and more importantly, why it's so important for you to have a plan B and look at alternate streams of income. So here's what you've got to be looking at. I'm going to just do some math. I don't want to really complicate things, but I really want you to understand this so that anytime you're moving forward, that you will know exactly what it looks like in the financial world, so that you can actually ask the right questions, so that you can do things informed, and hopefully maybe take a very serious look at partnering with someone in this industry, because I truly believe that everyone should find a home-based business and actually take a serious look at the benefits of actually getting involved in network marketing. So the first thing is I want you to understand is that you've got to look at what your anticipated life expectancy is, and that's what I'm going to designate with L, so your life expectancy. The next thing is I want you to subtract that from when you expect to retire. So what is your retirement age? That's going to then give you a figure that's going to be how long your retirement dollars need to last. So how long do you need your money to last? Right now you have a lot of baby boomers that are very concerned about their cash actually lasting, because people are living longer. The next thing is I want you to do is take your retirement age minus your current age. Your retirement age minus your current age will tell you how long do you have to fund your retirement. The next thing that you want to make note of is what is the number What's the number? The next thing is you want to look at your associated interest rate. Next is your present value, future value, and the payment. So those are financial terms. So if you've got a financial calculator, I wanted to put those down so that you can actually follow along using your financial calculator. So it's very, very simple. This payment amount is how much per year. How much per year are you actually looking to receive? So let's just say that you wanted an income of $5,000 per month, which is $60,000 per year. Next, let's say that you don't have any put away right now. And let's just assume a 5% rate of return. And you discover that